My son insisted student loans were good debt and refused my college fund. 4 years later, he called me crying about his first payment notice. Dad, I am not taking your money, my son said firmly, pushing away the college fund statement I just proudly presented. $87,000 is amazing, but student loans are better. They're good debts and investment in my future. I stared at him, confused that we'd saved this money since his birth. His grandparents had contributed. We'd made sacrifices for years so he wouldn't start life buried in debt. Teachers' loans charge interest, I explained carefully. This fund is free money. He rolled his eyes. You don't understand modern finance, Dad. This isn't the 1990s anymore. Over the next 3 weeks, he bombarded me with articles from Financial Entry explaining how student loans build credit, offer tax advantages, and teach financial responsibility. His TikTok feed was full of 20-somethings in luxury apartments, casually mentioning their six-figure loans like badges of honor. Look at this guy, he said, showing me a video of someone in a Quanfer. He took out maximum loans, invested what he didn't need for tuition, and the investments outpaced the interest. It's basically free money. When I tried explaining compound interest income, paginate repayment, or showing him actual loan calculations, he dismissed me completely. Dad, I'll be making at least $80K right after graduation with my finance degree. I'll have these paid off in 3 years tops. I tried one last approach. Take a college fund now. If loans are truly better, you can take them later and give my money back. This is about financial independence, he insisted. I've done my research. After weeks of arguments, I finally said, it's your education and your future. If you are certain about this path, I won't stand in your way. He enrolled that fall, taking out maximum federal loans plus private loans for his apartment near campus. Each semester, I gently asked if he'd reconsidered. Each time, he'd tell me about classmates taking even bigger loans for spring break trips or gaming, reassuring me he was being responsible with his borrowing. Meanwhile, I kept his college fund in a high-yield account just in case 4 years passed quickly. My son graduated with honors in finance. I couldn't have been prouder of his academic achievements. Then reality hit. Despite his finance degree, he didn't land an $80K job. He found work at $52K respectable, but far below his projections. Those in Tata he followed had conveniently omitted that their wealth came from selling courses on getting rich, not from their degrees. Last month, his first student loan statement arrived. $118,000 in combined federal and private loans, a monthly payment, $1,350 more than his rent. At 11:30 p.m. my phone rang. I could tell he'd been crying. Dad, his witch cracked. I messed up so bad I can't afford these payments. The interest that it's already thousands more than I borrowed. Those techno finance guys were full of shit. I didn't lecture him. I simply said, come over for dinner tomorrow. Let's look at your options. The next evening, we spread his loan documents across my dining table. The private loans were particularly predatory, unvariable rates that had already increased twice since graduation. I was so stupid, he whispered, staring at the numbers. Hey, I should have listened to you. I slid a statement across the table. His college fund now worth just over $100,000. This was always yours, I said quietly. It was for your education or your future. And right now, getting out from under this debt is your future. He looked stunned. You kept it all this time? Of course I did. Parents don't stop planning for their children's welfare just because they make mistakes. We used most of the fund to eliminate the private loans completely and made a substantial payment on the federal loans, reducing them to a manageable amount. With his job, he'll have the remaining loans cleared in 5 years. He's now using his finance degree and personal experience to create content warning students about predatory lending and debt glorifying Integer. His most popular video, how I lost $50,000 by not listening to my dad. Sometimes the most valuable financial advice doesn't come from someone with 1 million followers. It comes from someone who give $1 million to protect you from pain.